Okay, just pulled this up. This was the setup off an automated TS2 11,024 is the entry, and that's been hit. Okay, for 5 contracts with a stop down here at 11,010, risking $350. We got a 2.4 to 1 risk reward, so not too bad. 11,038 would give us 100% of our initial risk, that $350 here, basically 1-to-1. And we'll see how this plays out. Again, the target here is at 11,058, or about $850 if it's hit. And you also have more resistance up here. This would be our second target, which falls in line with this decision point, which is a potential resistance area. So we'll see how this one plays out. Okay, now we see that we got our entry here, and we've come up and just touched the 100% initial risk. So basically we're up $350 on the trade. We risked one to make one at this point, but our goal is if we're going to risk one, we want to make at least two. We've got a 2.4 risk to reward ratio here at this target, $850. So we'll see now if we can get there. Sometimes if you hit this 100% initial risk, some people may want to move their initial stop to their entry or break-even point there. This one is a little tight. We're only talking a 2.4 risk to reward here, so that might be a little tight. And really, this stop here at 11,010 is the point at which the market really would tell us that we're wrong. So we could come back to the entry here and kind of bounce around, but really until it gets down to this 11,010, that's the point at which the market is telling us that we're wrong and need to exit that trade. Now, if it does get to the first target, and I want to continue to hold this trade, I may look to the when we get them the trailing stop, and would have to take out this area here in order to start getting a trailing stop there, and then use that till we can get to at least maybe the second target here. You also have resistance up here, so I'm probably not going to play anything beyond that. But even at this first target, it's a nice reward if we get there on a $350 risk to make it $850. So we'll see how this progresses from here. Okay, we haven't hit the target yet, just a few ticks away. 11,053 right now, 58 is that first target. So getting close, not there yet, but we'll see if it at least hits that first target, and then we'll kind of monitor to see if it gets to the second target thereafter as well. Okay, so we just hit the first target there at 58. That would give you an $850 profit minus your commissions, any slippage that you received on the trade. Again, that was a long of 5 contracts. That comes from in the software I can set up my account size and how much I want to risk per trade. In this case, 2% on any one trade. So that automatically told me I could trade a maximum of 5 contracts. The risk of $350. I'm looking for a minimum 2 to 1 risk reward ratio. This happened to fit the bill at 2.4, just over that. The profit of $850. Again, risk of $350 with a stop down here 11,010. That was never challenged. And so now we're going to see if it can take out this first target and get to our second target, which is right in the 11,066 area here. So at this point, you'd have to, if you were, it happened to be lunchtime right now. So not the best time of day for movement. Things may slow up a bit here. So if you take that 850, that's fine. The other option is, now that it's hit that first target, if you're trying to get to the second target, which is going to be probably a stronger area of resistance up here, because you also have this decision point resistance. But you'd be using these little trailing stops here. So if you get stopped out at this point, you'd be just above the $350 one-to-one risk reward area here. So we'll see how the remainder of the trade progresses if we get to that second target again. We just turned 12 o'clock Eastern time, so things you'd expect to slow up here. We'll see. Okay, so you can see that we've come up. You see, here's the trailing stop that we had. Was never hit. We finally did get through the first target, and now we've hit that second level target area in this 11,066 area, and it's pushing beyond that. And you see there's a third target up here now. This was, we just weren't able to see that, because I didn't have the screen expanded there. And that looks to be right around 11,089. There's 11,080, which is kind of a natural resistance area in the YM. So anyway, two targets hit. And once again, it looks like your stop now, the trailing stop here, maybe I should expand this a little bit. It looks to be that it's popped up to here right at that first initial target. So worst case scenario at this point, if you moved your stop up, you didn't take the second target, maybe you're waiting to see if they can get to the third target here, then you're locking in about $850. The second target here, I'm just going to calculate the second target now. The third target hit there at 11,089. So we're looking at, let's see, our initial entry there, 11,024. That's a total of 65 points. That's $1,625 now at this 11,090 target. And you see the stop now has moved basically to just about to that second target. In fact, 11,086 is probably a good place to exit there, and that is basically our 14-day average true range is about 115 points. So from the close of Globex today, that puts you, if you add the ATR to the close, it gives you 11,086. So right near we are now. If the market continues to move, it would probably the maximum would be probably half the ATR added to where we are now. But anyway, so a great trade. Again, we're looking about $1,600 at this third target. Stop is here, so we'll end the recording here, And hopefully you can see how powerful the software is, that it gave you all this information ahead of time.